Remember, ladies, my name is Chess, and welcome to the What If Him Living Laser was in My Hero Academia. And yes, I'm talking about the one from Iron Man Armored Adventures. This one. But the I am creating my own character so that it's based off of him. So and he looks like that. And his mother is actually one of the pro heroes. You could see it. It's actually her. So, yeah. But in this What If, she's wants to battle constantly. So, yeah, she met, or actually, she wanted to go faster. Like lightning, or like something that's gone really fast. So she gave birth to him. And I'm making her a little bit older than she looks. So, yeah. Then, because she was out of she's not out of the hero business thing. She's recovering from it. So, or from giving birth to living laser. That's what she calls it. Because that came to her mind. Or laser. As she likes that idea better than. So, yeah. Because living laser. Yeah. So, yeah. Then a couple days have passed. He's at age of 4. Bunny Girl takes him to the doctor's. Quirk doctor. And the doctor says, well, or your son has the quirk, but it's a different kind of quirk. It's speed. But his powers are like kind of like living lasers. So I'm trying to add something that's like weaker to it. So yeah. And he also, I'm adding like to him, or to my character one, that he can augment his body, or he can use his laser stuff to create objects out of thin air. Similar to Momo, but instead of using her like stomach thing. So, yeah. as he's the smartest one out of them. So, yeah. So, she says, huh, what is your thoughts, my son? Well, my power is the living laser. So, as he's, or, or laser and all that stuff. So, yeah. And some of you might be asking me, and probably seeing in the comment, or seeing in this, why are they wearing the masks? Well, I was trying to make him more, like, darker. Like, depends on how dark he gets. Like, if he gets super dark, mask turns gray. So, yeah. But his quirk is totally different from hers. It's more of the thinking. Oh, hold on. Thinking, and so that's basically it. So years have passed. She actually wanted, or she trains him harder than anyone. So yeah, but all that stress in his body. So as 15 comes around, he goes to the hero school where she used to go to. As or during the same time, he he, he when he was walking home, he saw was her and her getting, like, into a corner thing by some random guys. As he wasted no time. So he became full on laser thing, like his power, and like went and beat the snot out of the villains. And they're students, so same like school, but as he was tall, as yeah, he leaves as she's thinking, or or they're like looking at each other's, as yeah, they were looking at each other's like, who was that, or what was that blinding light? So then they were looking around. Not very much. So now, sorry about that. So when he got home, that after day thing, of course, his mother's like, huh. Or actually, she worked overtime, being a pro hero, as he usually gets his own food and he sits down. He's not stressed yet, but if he's under too much pressure, then his, like, alternate version of himself, like his evil alter ego, might come and they get surprised. So yeah, so the next day, when he went to school, he saw those two same people, Momu and I forget her name again. Sheesh. It just had her name on my brain, but then now it's lost my 11 mind. So, yeah. And her was talking to each other's. Like, he's just, like, being, like, a great student thing. So he's just sitting as they're like, okay, I know that some of you might be going to, or UA, apply for UA. People are going that is Momo Irozu and her and the Living Laser. Okay. So, as the teacher knows that Living Laser, if he gets too much stress on his body, he can become a dangerous thing. But he's not, like, under stress. As yeah. So after school, or like after class, Momo Irozu was curious about something. So she walks over to the teachers, or the teacher, and asked him that, or yeah. So he ends up telling her. Of course, she asked, "Why are you giving the easiest stuff to Laser?" And he says, "Well, I know that you're still a student, but if you hanged around with him too much, you probably will understand why." As as she's thinking, the living laser, yeah, because his power is different from yours and everyone else's. It depends on how much stress he is in. lot of stress could cause him to go into the, like, his alternate ego self. And so, yeah, they're like, okay. So when Momo and her were walking back to their house, they were thinking in their heads and of who will get him. So, yeah. So, Momo's like, huh, you always try to meet me at this, or at the. So, yeah. Then, when they got to UA, he ends up, like, he, like, covers his eyes, and he wrote so clearly that even who was sitting right next to him on both sides, where one was Momo Irozu and the other was her. She was like trying to calculate how it works. Like she couldn't believe Eve that someone with low IQ of talking just he's like, what the, or they're like, what the heck? They were looking right at a person, and then the paper that they were drawn, or he was, or like, he was done in about all the way to, like, okay, fast as lightning, but way, way faster. So, he was done before everyone was even. Plus, that's only with his eyes closed. So, yeah. Sorry about that. Alright. So, the. Sorry. Sorry. And during the robot fight thing, he turns into hate as he goes and takes care of all the 1-pointers, 2-pointers, 3-pointers in about all the way to nanoseconds. Or like he's fast on his feet. He does like a same thing. As at the control room, she says, "That's my boy right there. The living laser can do basically anything." So, as Nezu's like, it's time to release our 0-pointer. So, yeah, he does that, and he grabs everybody, flies them all the way back, as he says, huh. As yeah, he flies in or flies up to the zero pointer and like shoots a beam of light right through its chest with enough force could destroy it. As yeah, that impresses even like Momo owns owns and that is her like costume thing. But when she saw how powerful he can get, then it reminded her that the living laser actually saved both of them. Or the blinding light saved both of them in that one or a couple days ago. So, yeah, or a couple years ago. So, yeah. He. Of course, she tells Nezu, by the way, don't underestimate my son's true abilities. Well, the. So, and as she looks at Nezu with such serious face, it gave like Nezu like shivers down its spine. So yeah, as she told him, "Ever you do, don't put him in like any stressful situations." As Nezu's like, "Okay, why?" As she explains that he can like turn into an alternate evil version of himself. No, but it's only his darkest power. So I'm skipping the ball throw thing, and here's his villains. He shows up before class even started, way before. Even way before students even got up. And she's used to the him getting up really, really, really early. But he, after that like message thing, I'm skipping the message. So he's a class 1 as A student, broke a world record, holds a world record now. So yeah. Then like between and their or her parents and her parents are like deciding to, because is there anyone that's bothering you? As well, some it's not they're not annoying ones, but they still can't get over his or that incident happened years ago. As Momo's parents like asked her what incident was that Wait, is it the one that, like, when you two were trying to come back to house, but you got ambushed by some groups of men, and some blinding light took care of them? Yeah, but that's not that laser, or no, that blinding light is the thing. He's the living laser. That's his name. And yeah, they couldn't believe that the living laser is the person. And they both told the same thing. So yeah, when he as he's giggling at himself, as only person that really, or two people that only hear him giggling, is her and Momo Irozu. Because they were trying to push it, not pull it. As he says, here. As he grabs the handle and pulls it. Unheim. So he holds the door open for them. His kindness is... So now I'm skipping the... Or actually, during the heroes versus villains, living laser, like, goes, or actually because he goes really fast. So they're like, okay, you know, walking at her, and like, okay. So he was paired up with Momo Irozu against, like, her. So yeah. As his, like, superhero costume is the same thing as his, with the like mask thing. So that he flies around as he's, or Eraserhead says, huh, that's a cool outfit for you. Thanks. I made it so that I can handle, or it can handle my power. I can also augment my body too, I forgot to mention. As his entire arm, like left arm, or like the one that you see on this side, or actually right, I don't know, but came like a giant, like, blinding light of fist. Like, his hand became Like, that stuns so many people. And, like, he can use his own body to make, illusions out of light. So, yeah. So, then I'm skipping the villains because it's too long. So now USJ, he shows up real fast as he has really deep connections with his mother. Of course. So he tells his mother, or when they got during, or no, after they were ambushed thing, as she's worried about him going towards the dark side. So, yeah. Eraserhead was down for the count, but not like dead of a Nomu. And the 13 was injured. Yeah. So his body's having too much stress on him. So as he became, or the mask became that. He grows wings, by the way. Like darkest wings that you ever see. So he has the same like that, but on a whole nother level. As he basically kills every villain, or like injures them enough point that they think that they're dead. When he rips a brain out of the Nomu's head, grabs Mr. Aizawa and flies all the way back. As he uses his laser of darkness. Yes. As he's more of like a silent type when he's in his darkness form. So he nods his head. As it creeps even Momo and like the rest of them out. Like they couldn't believe that hit their own comrades. As they remembered, like their teachers told them that if he's under too much stress, then the real his darkness comes out. So he like flew all the way, or he uses his beams of light to like go cuts a circle like an egg shape thing. And yeah, all those students ran out. as are actually on at the villain's base. All for One was watching as he says, "Oh, this. Who is he?" As he's grinning, as the doctor told him, "Oh, that he is Mr. Laser or Living Laser." So, well, Mr. Laser will become my new successor, or his darkest power. Sorry, I was yawning. So, make sure your volume's all the way up. So, yeah. So, when he makes it out, his darkness that was inside of his self became back to his usual self, and he collapsed his house. So, yeah. So she runs over and like, So she says, well, Lisa got, or he got everyone out of there before. As he was the one that saved everyone's lives. So, so she walks over to Bunny Girl and says, are you his mother? And then probably introduce myself. Yep. He's my own overpowered son. You might not see him as the big threat, but I see, so, yeah. And she says, I am Momo Irozu, by the way. But just call me Momo. Okay? So, as she introduces herself, like a semi. So, and Momo was not the only one. Of course, she was the one, or she was actually, went all out. So, she was actually introduced herself too. And so, yeah. Then the next day, because Nezu knows that that Living Laser is not he had a freak out moment. or he was under a lot of stress, so he doesn't like charge him anything. So when Mr. Ozawa was in recovering and like 13, and yeah, so he's basically. So I'm skipping the sports festival and internship, but he did get the remake of his costume. Um, he it went from main this, so it's like a Hulkbuster thing. It's this is the or because he showed it to Bunny Girl that this suit that he's it's in planning of, this is the Driller. It's a suit that drills through, like, and it can handle debris, anything. And that's cool. Like using your own, like, siphon off all that power. Yeah. But then when he went over to this one, he says, huh, well, this one's completely useless suit because it's. So she ends up suggesting to wear it because that looked cool. And in secret, she actually made that. As he says, huh, are you trying to build that suit thing, that drill suit? Yes, sweetie. And, huh, well, it's really dense alloy. So it needs, as he actually made the entire suit. And yeah, so now the internships, he went under his mother's internship of just fighting all the time. So yeah. Or actually no. Actually I chose an Endeavor. Because lasers could start fires, and then that's what happens. So, yeah. And, of course, Nezu got the rarest materials to build that suit. So, because Bunny Girl told him that the drill thing for his, like, support gear will be. So, yeah. Then, after the camp arc, or actually, after the internships and camp arc, All for One no, all the villains kidnapped the living laser. As he says, it stresses you out that causes you to evolve into that dark form of yours. As he uses his because they put him in like not a like handcuffs. They put him in like a glass dome. As he's talking to him, saying, your mother won't come to your rescue. And like insults him. Like he or All For One told him that I know that Momo who and that other girl wanted to date you so badly, but they're fighting each other for it. As he look at the hero's headquarters, she's immediately freaking out. Like, where is my son? Where did he go? I don't know, but with Warping Gate, the as a little dark version of himself of like his darkness self, he types in the where he's at as things dark laser or darkness laser now as he's so yeah, he ends up flying all the way to there as yeah, Bunny Girl says, you're in deep trouble now, All For One. And you pissed off a wrong person. So then All For One, like, well, as yeah, their son, or that Bunny Girl's son, and became darker. So yeah. So, and his light, or it's actually his light self. No. Turned into. So, he shows up as he's battling against himself. Oh, yeah. He was basically like kapow pow pow kind. So, and when they both collided into each other's, like they both gave a hug. They became one entity known as the laser. And he turns and looks at All for One and menacingly. So, yeah. As he, like, flies, and he grabs All for One by the, like, neck, or no, yeah, by a mask, flying him all the way to the, like, to the sun. And like through his entire body into the sun, as he comes out just fine. As he's still called the Living Laser. As he's like, huh, that was interesting. So, yeah. Then skipping the ball throw. But the Momo and her walked up to him together, and they both asked him who does he like more. As he's overwhelmed, but he's more control. Like he says, huh. Well, when All for One was telling me that both of you are fighting over each other's for me, that as he says, or actually he used 2 fingers, both of you. I don't mind. As they're like, huh, that's okay. So, yeah. As he was walking away, but before he says, oh yeah, that years ago, you're welcome on that. As Momo, who's finally got her answer of who. Oh. And he tells them that he wasn't a creep. He was just trying to walk normally without some random incident. So, yeah. Then I'm skipping the ball throw, or dodgeball and overhaul. So let's go into the future. All 3 of them got married and had 2 kids each. So basically 4 because of. So, yeah. Then that's it. Because I don't want to, like, keep going on and on. So, yeah. And, of course, during the All for One against All Might thing, All Might congratulates him after that. So, now we move on to. And this is my own little, like, post on YouTube thing of who do you want to see, or what do you want me to do next? Do I do the What If Smasher, like Hulk Smasher, the What If Slayer, or What If Simone was the Anti-Spiral, What If Marvels, and or kill all Al kill, or like kill all kill. That's what I always put it. Means like Gurren Lagann, or me meaning like way big, or I. That's what his character's name. I. Okay. Or like do the what if I was like something, and then or what Dogma was in My Hero, or Destroyer, or I'm leaving it up to you. Of who do you want me to do next? But before we go, so this one, Dark Fiend Kid of Darkness one. This is the custom card review part. So if you want to like close it out, I'm okay with that. So now, so the Dark Fiend Kid of Darkness, okay, so okay, don't worry. So his was, or this, I took the same image from the What If I was in the slime movie one. So yeah, and this card is supposed to be like the synchro monster to her, because she's a water monster, or any like water type monsters that are tuner. To my knowledge, it's probably nothing too important. So yeah, because then this one, same thing. So sorry. And then for like this one, I was watching them, like some random YouTubers, and it was someone was trying to make him have over 1 bazillion attack. But I made this card so that for 2 cards with 9 bazillion. So 9 times 2 equals like 18. Yeah. 18 billion on the field. So like you can select cards, like 6 cards. So like you can basically add like all 5 pieces of Exodia and like all that stuff. But this one is too crazy. Basically, it inflicts damage and yeah, to your opponent's life points for each card that's like both players' hands and or graveyards or bannerstones. If it does, you can equip 1 card from. So it's basically like if I wanted to equip some random monster to it, and then it will get that. So yeah. And like all of these from this, and this is my first time actually making a Link monster, so yay! So now, watch me whip, watch me nini. Sorry, it's just that song. So, yeah, that was my first time making a Link monster for this deck, or for this custom cards things. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13 cards. So, yeah. If I add this one to it, then it will get like 14 cards. But this one is different from the others. So, like, and then you can choose one card from your opponent's deck or extra deck or hand to, or your. I accidentally put hand to your hand, but you know what I mean. Meant field. It meant field. So, yeah. Like, if you choose, like, a synchro monster, like, if you chose, like, I don't know what opponent's playing, so let's get, I'll just use, like, this card. Like, your opponent plays a fossil deck, and they summon, like, they use, or they try to use fusion summon on, like, this. But you summon it before, or you summon that card before, and takes it and summon it to your set of field. Basically, it's one card, that's all for today. So, bye-bye. And sorry for this long interview. So, if you cut the Yu-Gi-Oh! Custom cards, it's like less